Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Yo That's Weird with my lovely guest, the wonderful, funny over here, Darryl Charles.
Hi.
Yeah. Give it up. No. Um I could do applause with one hand. That's not a thing. What's the sound of one
If
hand
I
clapping?
make the one hand clapping noise,
Yeah.
they're gonna think something else is
I got
happening,
to remember
audio wise.
I got to remember my brain doesn't work like this that I have to go like this to try to point to the guest.
Oh, please. For yeah, 2 years of being in the middle of this shit, and nobody knows that. Everyone's
Nope.
point like,
You're like
yeah,
stage left.
it's fun.
That's what I got to do. I got to remember. It's like after I was just starting to train for an online video live job of sorts, and you're on camera, and I felt like I was sitting here waiting because you're supposed to sit like and just stare at the
Right, you got to
camera wheel
appear
weird.
ready.
Uh huh. I was like, oh, I can't be like adjusting my tits if like they look saggy today or not.
I would
um,
think that yeah, if I would think that seeing someone like randomly picking their nose would make them more attractive to me. I'd be like, oh, look at this. We
see,
both don't care what people think about us. Look at that.
yes, show your
That'd be
tits.
me.
No, I mean,
Yeah. I showed
adjust
up with my
them.
shirt off because I saw you had your finger in your nose. Nothing. Okay. All right. Maybe
Luckily, we
I.
didn't
I
see
guess I
that.
messed up. Cool. All right.
So what's up with
Be
you?
careful of
What's
the signals you send.
yo? How are you doing?
You know how am I? Yeah. Right.
hmm
Me personally, I'm chilling.
Yeah,
Working. Fucking stupid comedy is a hustle every day. So,
I was just thinking how I truly like you're one of these people, but you realized it now. You're like have a great paying job at the beginning of comedy, and you're like, I'm gonna go do comedy, and it's like, oh wait, it takes a long time and a lot of money invested into it, and when at the end
yeah.
only some people make six figures a year doing it, very
Oh,
few.
and like vanishingly few, right?
That
Like that's the thing. It's like yeah, the only the top 1% are like making it. Some that in that 1% is a huge gap, right? But like yeah, there's plenty of people struggling.
huge
But
gap.
you know, I had a job like I did um grad school and college and all that stuff. All that was years of training
Hmm.
before I could be like, pay me money for this thing.
Yeah,
And that's how comedy works. That's how
I
everything
know.
works, right? Like for a while you have to
Absolutely. You have to
I
apprentice
mean,
into
until we
anything.
we figure out that society should be about helping push everybody forward and not keeping weird fiefdoms so you can make sure that only people who like you based on the transactions that you have are around
Yeah.
but
Transactional
but
relationships, my favorite.
yeah baby, but
I
until that day you fucking
hey,
you
I know
grind like your
do
back's
it.
never gonna give out.
Do it no matter
Yeah.
what. That's what I was thinking today. I love the people that I just see getting in since COVID, and they're grinding. They're doing great. They're killing it, but they have really nice college level educated masters, doctorate, all that kind of PhD type stuff where I'm like, oh, you know what? I came into this making $40,000 a year, maybe. So I wasn't expecting to go much further. you know?
Yeah.
Set your bar low. That's what I say. And then you're not upset when you don't when it takes longer than you expected, or you could have been making $100,000 a year being some kind of engineering of any field.
Yeah, sure, right. Right. It's like, look, I slept on the floor a lot. I'm cool. My bed's all right.
Plenty of homeless comedians. It's a
That's
struggle,
yeah.
part of the struggle.
Part of the struggle. They're
Give you
they're
the
the reason
backstory.
why that 1% is so varied.
Yo, what if wait?
Because
I was gonna say, what if they started a homeless interment camp for like comedians only? You know, they have
that
the
was
homeless
called
camp.
Occupy. That was
the 1%. Ah. This is for the smart listeners. This episode. Yeah, I am a two-time community college dropout. So I'm,
Ooh.
I didn't spend any money on education, so I don't care what happens.
What were the two things?
uh, Accounting, which I just kind
Nice.
of got my job that I've worked in, my field that I worked in for a long time.
Hmm.
I got that because I was just like, I just need a job right now. I was like
Totally.
supporting somebody else, like a guy that I was living with at the time. I was like working, just like, no, I'm not gonna waitress and bartend for the rest of my life. Let me get a day job. And then I got an offer, whatever. So that was just like accidental, that I just was like, oh well, this job is related to math and I know what I'm doing, so
Sure.
whatever. And then it was like after I had done that for a long time, probably 10 years, I went, I'm not happy in this job, and I'm not in a band anymore because I was in a band when I was in my 20s. And I was like, I need something to
Mm.
do to occupy my time. I wasn't even like
Yeah.
going as a career at first. I just took some improv classes and whatever. And then I went to, for journalism, communication, film, just fun. I was like, I'm going to go back to school for something fun since I can afford to pay for myself now. Since my mom couldn't afford it for me to pay for me, and I didn't want to take loans. I was just like, I'm not going to
Sure.
go. I took one class at a time, two classes, whatever. Um, and yeah, communications journalism. And I was like, I'm going to be a newspaper editor. And then I was like, oh, wait, newspaper's dying.
Yeah, baby.
And so, film classes. And that's actually, it's funny because one of the teachers in film, acting for the camera class said, there's a back doorway into acting. It's stand up comedy.
Stand up comedy.
And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. It's not really something I would do. I like comedy, but then they had an improv class,
Did she
and
say it as like a snide remark? Did
no,
she
like
say
it
it
was like
like,
advice. It was advice
oh,
kind of.
okay,
She was
advice? Because
cool.
it sounds like an acting person would
No.
be like, well, listen, you're not good at acting, but
Well, maybe you're probably right. Like in her mind, she was going like, hey, for you cheaters,
you're right. Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah. Who
cheat the
want
system.
shortcuts? Go be funny outside. That's
But
all.
and then there was an improv teacher and class there, and sketch
Mm-hmm.
class, and I took that, and then
Mm-hmm.
I took a class at Fit,
Oh.
uh, from Amy Rowe, and
Hmm.
then Fennell. I texted Fennell one day, Brian Fennell, and was like, "Hey, I'm taking improv classes. Just whatever. We have always talked. We've always been friends before
Mm-hmm.
comedy." And he was like, "Oh, improv sucks. Come do stand up." I was like, "All right, you know what? I make this guy laugh on text all the time, or when we're having conversations, and he's a comedian, so
There you go.
yeah." So that was my
Hell yeah.
two-time college dropout. That's gonna be my
That's a
album title.
that is a great story. That's everybody's story. That's fantastic.
I always used
Um,
to say like every great comedian after that, like when I was telling people. uh, I think I know of Fred. What's his name from Portlandia?
oh, Fred Armisen.
Armisen. I couldn't think of his dumb last name. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's the
it's
same.
something
His
with an
same
A. I
story.
probably Amistad. That's blacker than
See, I
me.
almost said like Arnst or some dumb. Like I'm too high
Yeah,
trying to
right.
think of this guy's name that I've known of for so long. My
Fred
brain couldn't.
Amethyst. You know who I
Am-
mean.
Fred
We
America.
old. When you old, that's what happens.
You
Fred
smoke weed for
America.
a long time and you
The
get old.
guy. Come on now.
You know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You know exactly what I'm talking about when I said Portlandia. You don't need a further description.
Right. It's a bunch
uh,
of white people and him. Maybe.
He's Hawaiian or something. He's got something in there. I watched the thing about him. He's Japanese. I forget what he is. He is. I swear to God.
He is very talented. That's where he's from. He's from He's from Port Talented. That's where he is.
Yeah,
And you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, he's a guy. So I remember you said your story was about you're walking alone late at night in Philly, and I've been thinking
Oh,
about that a lot recently. How scary the city's kind of been since COVID,
yeah,
especially.
yeah. No, no, no. It was me and my wife. We were walking
Okay.
back from Helium. I can't remember what time of year it was, but we didn't have on coats, and it's Philly, so it was like probably fall or something like that.
Sure.
Um, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're very drunk, or for the sake of the truth, one of us was very drunk, and the other one was going to drive,
Oh.
and we were walking uh, uh, down Sansom, and there's that school that's like a couple
Yes.
blocks
Yes, where
behind it.
you can park like in front of sometimes on the corner of
Got the school time park, and these are secrets. These are the
secret. I know we're revealing
this is
secrets.
right. These are secrets, but back there. But then also on Chestnut is another strip where you could park, and the
Okay.
parking rules real nice.
Oh, if
So
you're before one of the blocks, like if you're before 21st, if you go to 22nd or after
yeah,
22nd, it's free facing this
it's
way,
like
but you
four.
don't go.
Yeah, and for a while they had it cut off because of construction, but they just put it back. It's just 4 hour parking
Yeah.
until 8 o'clock.
Oh.
So it's like if you show up anywhere between 6 o'clock and the car's there for the whole night. Anyway,
Sure.
so we were walking back towards there, and what I would do when it was just me alone was I would cut through the park middle of the night, right? But it catty corner like cuts the block in half. So I was like, yo, let's just cut through the park. And my wife was like, I'm not walking through no dark park in the middle of the night. What are you, insane? And I was like, what? It's all the time, and it's nighttime. We'll just make it through real quick. She's like, I'm a woman. I can't do that. You don't get that. And I was like, yeah, but I'm with you. There's no way something's gonna happen. And so as we're walking, she's turning to not go into the park, and I'm like following behind her, like, come on, just keep going. And she was like, I'm not going in there. And I was like, ain't nobody in there. And it, you know how it's the brick like
Wall kind of around
wall,
it. Yeah,
right?
like a
It's like the
small, like
brick
a
wall around
instead
it.
of
So
a
we're walking by the
fence, it's like the wall.
right. It's not fenced. It's brick,
Yeah,
and I don't think that there are like little holes in the brick so you can see through, but it's just like brick.
sure.
And on the upside are like little benches.
Hmm.
So as we're walking, I'm like, nobody's in there. This dude did sit up on the other side of the wall and just looked at us, and then he sat back down like the Undertaker. And we started scream laughing.
No,
Because it was so on time. You know what I mean? Like, this dude
it's
took
his
improv
comedic
classes.
timing. His comedic timing of being
It
passed
was
out was
amazing.
perfect. Just
He
the
didn't say a word. Just sat up, looked at us, and then laid right the fuck back down. And we
now.
laid. And we,
Were were
mm.
you talking or like saying like having a
Oh yeah, he took
conversation?
the words right out of my mouth. I was like, ain't nobody even in. Uh.
Uh, yeah, yeah, and that's it. That's it. He just immediately heard a voice.
He heard a voice like, there are monsters out here. I'm
That's
one of them. We have a union. And he laid right back down.
he's like, I'm off the clock, or you'd be dead.
It's like, you lucky. If you had taken one step inside, I'd have killed the both of y'all.
It's like an enemy in a game where if you hit the perimeter, they feel your footstep. It's like boom, 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 and it's just like he sensed it, and he did that cyberpunk thing where they kind of like look over, and
Yeah,
like,
where he
you
leans.
still have time to pull out your gun or whatever. And like,
That's exactly what happened.
oh my god, that's so funny. It is that is funny because, and like I was like funny to me as I'm going listening. I hate to I interrupt because of my special needs, whatever's wrong with me. Um, I always have something like I want to say, and I'm like but it was like like when you said your wife was like I can't go in there. I'm a woman. Like did you feel emasculated first? Did you? Did you?
I mean, that was kind of what I was saying, right? Like,
You're like,
I'm
nah,
a
I
dude
got
with
it.
you.
There's not
You'll be
even any.
fine. She was like, yeah, I'm not trying. No.
I'm not messing with it. I don't trust it. She was picturing
Oh.
the Batman like sequence in her head, but you guys have no kids, so then you're just dead, and she's just standing there.
Exactly. She's like, I wore my pearls so I wouldn't go in places like this. This is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, because that dude, the just like surprise. Like imagine being like that guy, and you're a light sleeper. You're like
That's what I mean.
homeless.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. The dude was like fully clothed. I think he was wearing a hoodie. That up. So he could have been like sleeping in the park.
That's what I think was happening. But like,
Probably. He
what?
could have been smoking crack
Yeah,
behind the wall. You know
it,
what I mean?
it was
It could have been
exact.
a bunch of them. Like, if it were kids, right? Late night, they in the park smoking weed, whatever.
Sure.
It could have been that.
Yeah.
And immediately, these children, immediately they were like, "This is gonna be good," and they set it up correctly because we were talking loud as shit, and one of us was very drunk, at least,
Yeah, but
right?
no, I
Mm,
think he was. I think he was napping. I think he was a vagrant of some
right? Who was
sort.
just like, "I hate when y'all get out of there
It was
so
like,
late.
yo, get out of my room.
The fuck are you doing, man?"
It's because like most people you walk by on the street that are sleeping somewhere are passed out and
True.
dead. They're you
Yeah,
could literally like be saying anything. People are walking by having conversations all the time.
they figured it out. They
For
either
him
have
to
learned
be
to
like,
block it out, or yeah, or they
don't think
figured
about.
out how messed up on drugs to be to sleep past all of it.
Do you think he thought you two were coming in there to sleep? Like this is my bench. Get the fuck out.
He hissed it like a cat and was like, "Ooh, we stepped on his territory."
Oh man, yeah.
So yeah, the
There's
text would have been your person, his booty hole. That's what I had to take.
look. You don't need to sell tickets to any haunted house. Just take people around any city
So, yep,
after midnight.
chilling around Center City. They
Uh,
yeah, go in Center City. All the stores are closed, and the people who work in those stores can't live anywhere in them.
it,
So it's very very barren at
yeah.
night, and it's wild outside. Yeah.
Sometimes you'll just see a store that was open at 3 p.m. and then it's like boarded up at 9 for no reason. You're just like, did
Yep.
they have a lock break? What is happening?
Like what happened?
Damn, recession's hitting hard.
They put up wood every night. Every
Every
night.
night
Yeah,
they
every night.
hammer up. It's like company policies that prevent zombie attacks
Yep.
potential. Like I don't know. Do you think if we had a zombie attack, like the homeless would obviously be the first to really turn because they're just out there roaming. They can't hide. They cannot
You
hide.
know what a fun zombie movie would be is if it started as like a white collar problem,
Oh yeah.
and then the homeless,
Well, that's like Shaun
uh,
of the Dead, kind of.
right? Yeah, but like yeah, like they were the ones who knew how to avoid it.
Yeah, but like the
'Cause-
neighborhood it happened in. That's what
right? They'd be like, yeah, no, but they've been acting wild out there. We don't even go there no more, and everybody else panicking.
I
It's like, yeah, we
screaming.
saw that coming.
Uh, yeah. I like the idea of like, what about the elites? Like all of a sudden, like Elon was just a zombie cruising
Yep, it's like
around.
yeah, like something messed up at Tesla, and like a boardroom got gassed, and now they're zombies, and no one knows what to do
Ex-
except the homeless.
they have to fight him.
We have to run to them for help. Like help us.
Help us turn back into people again. We know you're immune to any kind of bites and diseases. Like
Right.
you have had it all and survived. Or like he's so rich, he'll just invent some kind of like hyperbaric suit that you can wear that keeps you in zombie stasis, but you don't attack
Sure.
people. Like your brain works. It like
Hmm.
somehow fight like a VR. Like you could be like, ah, but like
He's like Mr.
no, it's
Freeze.
your
Yeah.
friend. Yeah, yeah. Or what's the one where the kid is like in a relationship with the girl and he's a zombie? Is it
Oh
Evan Williams or Evan? Not Evan Peters.
no.
Evan William Scott? No, that's fucking not him. I'm terrible
Oh
with
Sean. Oh, I don't know the guy name, but I do
I'm gonna look
remember
it
that
up.
movie. But I think
So
I
I was
saw like
trying to play this game.
oh yes, the fun
uh,
game everyone plays. It's called How Fast Can You Type with One Hand? While
it's
thinking of maybe the name of the guy.
I know, right? Um,
What's it called? Like Love and Bites or Bite something?
Warm
I don't know.
Bodies, I think.
Warm Bodies.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds kind of yeah, because there's no other ones that are coming up that kind of look even close. But regardless, we're gonna. It's. I feel like I don't know. Let me bring up actually since we're talking about it. Let me bring up your news article because it's kind of related in a way. I usually do it towards the end, but we can kind of go back. This is a different experience here for everyone
Sure.
because it's
What news article?
sort
I'm
of
like,
related.
I was like, there's a news article?
Yeah, I always try to bring up at least one purposely
Say
to
what?
and I try to think of like, okay, what's your story kind of about, or what's the person themselves kind of about? And I know you're one of the people that still carry around a spare mic,
Yes.
and which I think of your joke about it all the time. And then the other day I was like, ugh. So I'm not gonna
That
say
is that is never that's a losing game. Anytime you have the idea of smelling a mic.
yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
no. All right, so let me share my screen here. I thought of you and the COVID kind of being
Oh,
like
you
we
know what happened that really cemented me bringing my own mic?
what?
It was like 2020,
Okay,
and I was at a show, and I didn't have my mic, or yeah, I didn't have my mic. I don't even think I was bringing it,
okay.
but it was like the middle of the whole shit, and I was at some show, and when I took the mic out, it hit me right in the mouth,
Mm.
and I was like, "I'm dead, everyone. This is it." Like immediately, like in the middle of the like I was like, "Oh, well,
Yep.
I should have stayed in the house."
Do you know how many times since I'm immune compromised and everything, post like mid 2021 when we were really back, and I'm like hosting Raven and going to doing stuff all the
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm out a lot for a person who shouldn't be out in the first place,
You're
they
right.
say, allegedly. But I always carry Lysol wipes. And Raven, if I was hosting, I would bring a whole thing of Lysol wipes, and I did my best to wipe it off or like hold it down here and bring up the next comic.
Right. Sure.
But there was so many
I think you're one of the
times.
first places I saw that did that.
Yeah. Well, I'm because I'm
Mm-hmm.
conscious of it. So what?
You have to.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Um, they're like one of the so you don't know how many times I definitely like lip tapped or you know what I mean, where I went, did I
Yeah.
just wipe that mic between running up here because I was at the back of the room trying to find somebody and whatever, and I
Right.
run on stage and jump on stage and I know I didn't, and then it touched my lip, and then I would drive home alone at 3 a.m. to go home alone like this, like I have COVID. I know I got it. My anxiety is just on fire. It's just a 30-minute panic attack.
Yep.
Just like, oh my God. And there
Every
was
time your sinuses move, you're like, "This is it. This is the
it's
end. I
any
have done it."
one scratch in my throat or tickle or soreness, and it's probably just
Yep.
because I was
Uh-oh.
yelling all night most of the time at Raven, yelling, talking
Of
a lot,
course.
and not drinking, just like, but then I'm just like,
Every time you go outside, you have to wear a mask. That shit bothers you. And
it,
but every time you're like, "Oh my god."
yeah, I wipe things down. I wore the mask, and I would still go, "Oh, this is it. I'm immune compromised. I'm done. I'm done for the transplant people were
This is
right.
it.
I'm gonna die." So all
I
right,
died doing what I loved.
I died doing what I love. That's why I didn't care. If you really ask me, but. All right, we're going to go to the article now because I was thinking about it today. It's like the 2-year anniversary of, I saw an article that made me think about the Wuhan leak or whatever incident,
Mm-hmm.
security incident at the lab in November 2019. Because once they announced COVID formally after I got it, we're not going to talk about that right now. OG pre-announced January of
Mm.
2020 COVID from Franklin. No,
Immunocompromised, baby.
listen,
In
no,
a very exclusive
it
club.
was before the transplant. It was before. It was
Oh,
January. They hadn't announced
see,
it yet.
that's why you needed it.
They
See,
announced
yeah,
it in
okay.
March. And so before this, I went in March once there was nothing to do. I'm just researching stuff on the internet. Like, somebody made this virus. I was like, somebody made this virus.
Right.
This didn't just like appear and crop out of nowhere. And of course, there's an article,
Right.
potential security leak at Wuhan lab in November of 2019. It's easily Googleable for anybody who thinks I'm spewing conspiracy
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's
But
not a
I'm going to share.
conspiracy. The
No.
former president of the United States brought it up a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. But
a
don't say
lot.
that. Don't say that. We're both going to be on. We're going to get extra ostracized. No. Um. I was gonna say
Listen, I'm already
extricated.
sorry.
Listen, shoppers rush for the exits as the Shanghai IKEA goes into lockdown. This isn't a news story. I saw it when it came out, but it made me think of you, and I looked it up again. There's August of this year. August of
Oh,
this year. Okay, we'll
you
watch
know
the
what?
video first. If anybody you've seen it.
No, no.
Okay, what were you gonna say while this dumb ad is on for
Right, right. No, I was like, I heard about something where like somewhere got a
lockdown
COVID
again?
a COVID outbreak and they shut the country like real fast.
Oh, that was maybe Singapore. I heard when it first happened,
Okay.
they were like zero case because they just went fuck you.
They just said
Everything's
everybody
closed.
out, or if you're here, that's it.
That's it. You're in your house. You cannot leave.
Yep.
Come on, screen. Yeah, so this is August 13th. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna lock you in the IKEA now." Which of any place, that's a great. They got a cafeteria. They got beds.
There's like a million living rooms.
That's a
You
million
can
houses
be
in there.
there by yourself.
But
But no,
also, this is a lot
China
of
has a lot more
people
people.
just trying to buy
Right.
mops and shit. Okay,
That's
closed loop management, the area around. So once we get into the story a little bit, they really like kind of it's very serious in other countries where America takes it the most loosely. We're like, fuck it, this shit doesn't exist. But everywhere else is like there's no like middle ground. It's just like a little wild, like the way people, it's like 5 people had it, asymptomatic, they just said. And they were like, shut the city down. Like, really? Okay,
hey,
how, maybe we just like,
one person sneezed,
it,
and they quickly said, "Wait a minute, who were you around?" And then
yo,
they found 6 people had it, and then they said, "Nobody go anywhere."
yeah.
This is good government.
And this is okay. They're in the IKEA, and they all of a sudden authorities need to lock it down after a close contact was just traced to the location. Now that means it could have.
Trace to that location.
But it's like they didn't get it
Hell
that
yeah, dog.
day. They didn't get it that day. The shoppers that are in there that day, like
No, 2 to 3
logically,
days. When you have contact tracing, that when you are actively tracking your citizens,
it's
and they
in.
can't do anything about it, this is the kind of efficiency of government you achieve.
Yeah, it's total control. It's 100%
We know
control.
where everybody was.
It was.
We know where everyone was.
It turns out actually they were locked down for 2 months earlier this year in Shanghai. Didn't know that, leading to widespread public anger. And it's like, yeah, we don't need to
Yeah.
be locked down. Let us wear masks if we want to wear masks and go out in public and wash our hands and risk our lives if we want to.
And guess what? There's no COVID in Shanghai though.
Yeah, true.
They said you will go to work on Monday.
That
I
was
know
also the
that.
story. But yeah, it's like, um, I don't know. It's like we have to like. I liked during like our COVID, regular COVID. I'm gonna say regular COVID from now on. During regular COVID, when there was like Jersey Shore people just like lining up at the beaches in like the following May, like 2021. It was just like, yeah, we don't give
Mm-hmm.
a fuck. And I love it. I,
Hell
I
yeah.
honestly don't care because I do my thing to stay safe. I'm immune compromised. I
Mm-hmm.
should theoretically be dead already from the amount of things I have done since COVID. I just
Mm-hmm.
can't live in fear because fear in Chinese medicine weakens the kidney. Did you know that?
Wait, which medicine?
In Chinese philosophy, Eastern, like they have, your like anger hurts your stomach and worry dysregulates,
Oh.
like certain systems. So, and it makes sense because like when you're worried and angry, you store that. You ever like, like men, I think tend to like feel that and they're like, pit of your, when you say your pit of your stomach, it's because anger is kind of tied
Mm-hmm.
in the way your emotions
Totally.
affect all your systems that run behind your
Yeah,
organs
affect
that
you
support
physically.
them. Yeah, and it's just like because you have a negative emotional response to, let's say, fear,
Mm-hmm.
and then
It's a trauma response. So yeah, your body does the adrenaline and all the things as if.
yeah,
Right.
if you didn't read The Body Keeps the Score, there you go. That's the
Mm-hmm.
explanation, the long and the short of that book. It holds onto it in a genetically weak area, especially. So
Mm.
I've always been, since I found out I had like kidney problems and I found that out, my acupuncturist at the time told me, I was like, oh, okay, kind of in my head. I didn't think of it consciously, but I think deep down that's why I'm like not afraid to just do anything, say anything, go out during COVID. But it's I think it's your own practices sometimes that lead to the
Sure.
best, like you carrying your mic. If that makes you feel good, whatever. Satoyo does the
Hey.
same thing. That's great. I like
Right.
I don't wear masks, but I'm obsessive about using hand sanitizer and washing my hands before I eat because my kidney doctor admitted to me masks help with flu, but COVID is a
Mm-hmm.
surface based thing, and you touch that handle
Yep.
on the door, and
Yep.
then you eat a burger, you're
Yep.
putting germs
Yep.
right in your mouth. All right,
Yep.
we're gonna take a break here, and then we'll check back in with Darryl Charles after that break.
Cool.
Hey, we're back with Darryl Charles from the break. Should I stop?
Yeah. No. 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 It's all good. Sorry.
All right. I don't want to take.
You know how it is. You take one break, and then it's like, oh, I have 11 things to do on the internet.
They.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do something, which I read about. It was like avoiding the feeling that you need to do and reply to everything on the damn internet and phones instantly.
Yeah.
Like to people that I care about, like I have a work mom from my old job because my mom and I have a strained relationship. So my work mom is like my mom
Mm.
that I would reply to like, yes, I whatever, I'm taking care of that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
she's exact same age as my mom, and if I had a
Oh,
choice of a mom, she would be it. But
look, that's how it works sometimes. Yeah.
you know,
No, I get that. I don't. I I try to do the thing of like, don't let 24 hours go without responding.
oh yeah,
As just like a rule, but like, yeah, I stopped. If I don't reply to you, that's I don't mean anything by it, but also your importance to me is apparent there. And sometimes it's like you're not that important. I only know you for work.
okay. Well, now I am very hurt. No.
No.
No, you know what? I have this thing because of the way I guess I think I came up with a phone in my hand was only to text. It didn't have anything besides
Mm,
fucking Snake on it, the first phone I had. So,
Sure,
and
yeah,
my
and you couldn't do any talking until after 9 anyway.
yeah, exactly. It cost more money.
Yep.
Your mom was like, no. And my mom made me have one because I had a car. So
Mm.
I was 16 when I got a phone. So at that
Yeah,
time,
I was in
texting,
college when I got one, and I was too poor, so I was not using the phone.
yeah,
I remember telling people like, "Hey, you need to stop talking to me when the sun is up.
yeah, no, I get it. We were
That's not the
poor.
way this shit works. Free nights and weekends, baby."
We were poor, and the only reason I got one was
Right.
because,
It
and
it made perfect sense.
at the time it was like probably $10 for the year to add like a line to your
Mm-hmm.
primary phone plan. It was like nothing. So um she was like, all right, I'm gonna do this small thing because she didn't pay my insurance or pay for my car or do anything else. We were poor. It's not her
Right.
fault, I guess.
Right. You do what you can.
Yeah, so we but like so then my friend, so me growing up from even that time, so how old were you? You say in college, but what year? How old?
Oh, I must have been like 20.
Okay, first year, like younger, like freshmanish, not like about to
No,
graduate 23 or so, 22, whatever.
no, 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 no. Like I think it must have been my junior year. I'm trying to think of
Either way, you were 20
what
plus,
my
and
dorm looked like
I was a
when I
teenager.
had it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like my junior year or like the summer of my sophomore year or something like that
All
when
right.
I like had like work study money and I was like I can afford a phone.
You sound like my sister. Yeah. Work study. Yep. Got it. Working in the college bookstore.
Hey,
Yep.
yep.
um,
I was in the stock room of the chemistry department
Stealing
at
beakers, I bet.
here scanning beakers, bringing in like buckets of like sheep eyes. That was like the most blood curdling thing I ever had to do. And it's not like I had to open the bucket. I just had to
Like carry
walk
it.
with the bucket,
Yeah.
knowing that it was like 5 gallons of eyes.
I almost threw up just now. I almost just threw up my drink everywhere. I was a bad choice on
It
my
was like
part to
just a
take a
nightmare
sip.
in my head of like, who has to open this and
Ooh.
look inside?
Oh, and then start
Oh
taking
my
stuff out of
God.
there for these people to dissect. That's what they're doing. Like
And I got
like
to reach in,
oh, do they use tweezers? Do they use a gloved hand? What's the process? A
you
spoon?
pop one by
Ice
mistake, you just
ice
got to
cream
go home.
scooper? Oh, popped eye. Oh, this is the second episode of Popped Eyes 2 days in a row, I think. That's how we get down here. We get down at you.
Ugh.
That's weird. But oh, that's gross. I don't think I've ever had to carry anything that gross. I did when I worked at Lone Star Steakhouse. Uh I had to do loading up little mini blue cheese cups for the
Mm.
salads. Like so they were
Hmm.
pre-portioned, the little like small tiny plastic thing with the lid. So the waitress would just grab them out. That big
Sure.
box of it was a big this wide square
Yeah.
box of just blue cheese in a plastic bag in this back fridge, and it
Yeah.
smelled like
Like a wine box.
diapers. It smelled like diapers,
Mm.
dirty diapers. And
Mm.
I
Yeah. That's
did
a
not
lot
eat
of
blue cheese for
cheese
a long time.
in a bag.
It was a lot. It was pounds, and I would have to just stand there
Right.
like for an hour and just loading these fucking things up, just
Yeah.
huffing moldy,
Things in mass. It just is
literal
like, oh
moldy
my
cheese.
God.
Not that I'm hating on
That's
blue
really how
cheese.
they do it. Like you ever see those like you go to McDonald's that they aren't good at their jobs
They're
and
not
so
very
they
great.
just leave like the boxes full
Oh,
of the egg log
mm,
out.
I worked at
And you're just like,
McDonald's. My first job at 15 was McDonald's.
oh, okay. Yeah. You see that egg log? And you're
No,
like, yeah,
I
that's
have.
not real food.
I'm glad that I don't wake up early enough to get McDonald's breakfast because that's the only thing I would really eat from there is a
McDonald's
McGriddle.
breakfast did bang.
McGriddles
Yeah.
bang. McGriddles
Yeah.
pop. Okay. But I can go for the Wawa one now. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't have to see their egg log in person.
Right.
That
Right. Yeah,
they do.
exactly.
I think they do a bag of egg that they pour out. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like frozen bag that they like take out each one. I don't know. I really don't know.
Sure.
I'm glad I don't
Hey,
work at
whatever.
Wawa
I'm
because I
paying
can
three
still go.
dollars for an entire sandwich. Cool.
I can get a
However you made it
breakfast.
happen.
I can get a breakfast sandwich at anytime, 8 p.m., whatever. I don't care what's in it.
Right.
McDonald's, I boycotted after COVID. I've reintegrated McDonald's into my life after being like over 10 years of never eating it. Okay, more
And then
than
you
that.
boycotted them?
And I'm back on boycott because during COVID they did all day breakfast. Then I went one day and they took it away.
Oh.
They would be making
Mm.
millions a year just from me if they served those damn.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I'm glad they don't because you said egg log, and now I'm sick. I'm sick about it. Oh,
I get it.
we ruin delicious things here for people all the time. I like doing that because I'll still eat it someday. I will.
Right. I mean, I can have all these conversations and it's not going to affect my daily life. I'm a
Nope.
hypocrite.
I'm
Easy.
glad. No,
It's
it's not a hypocrite. It's being uh not I don't know how to say it. I was gonna say it like not suppressing your tolerance to disgusting things. You're like, I'm still gonna
sure.
eat it.
Yeah.
I learned about
You
what
still live your life.
yeah
Yeah,
because
you still got to live your life. I know
yeah
shit is bad and I
mm,
try to do good, but sometimes you eat Taco Bell.
exactly all the
What you want me
time.
to do? The meat
Sometimes
comes in a bag. That's fine by
I
me.
don't care. That's not chicken. That could be shredded wheat in there. We don't know. That's
Yeah.
some of
That'd
the
probably be
meat.
healthier.
I mean, that's what they make seitan out of is just wheat. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like you could be serving me that at Taco Bell. I wouldn't know the difference.
You're right. Not
It's
really.
didn't they say there was what was it, kangaroo brains or something in the meat? I think
I, I,
at one
I heard it
point.
was kangaroo meat, but I think kangaroo would be too expensive. We don't
I know
we
it's like
don't
ridiculous. That's the best. The best conspiracy theories are fast food.
yeah.
Um,
As if like yeah, they're going for the lowest common denominator. They're not gonna do like when they were like, oh, there's sawdust in the meat. I was like, oh, okay,
sure, it's a filler. I get that.
yeah,
It's cheaper for them.
yeah,
Uh,
totally. Then make it all sawdust. The fuck is it? I'm there for sour cream.
Look, and Diablo or fire sauce.
Yeah, for fire. Diablo is
It's
like
okay on. It's good on certain things. It's not good on everything.
they wanted to ramp up the spice, the
Yeah,
pepper, but they didn't do anything with the flavor. Like it actually makes it taste worse than the
it's
fire.
it's good on. This is gonna sound weird, but that's okay because we're gonna get
Yeah.
into that in a little bit. Weird foods. We're already on it.
Mm.
Um, the cheese roll ups. Cheese roll ups with
Oh,
Diablo
sure.
is actually killer. If
I could
it's
hear
like
that because it
if
cuts
it's
that fat up
y-
and
and the plainness of those and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
they anything they put their own spiciness in, it kills it. It makes it disgusting.
Mm,
Like if it's like something seasoned chicken. So I do
right.
agree that it's kind of gross on. I liked the verde sauce, but they deleted that, which
Yeah, about to say that was a while ago.
I would boycott Taco Bell if it wasn't a block away from my house.
Oh, that's lucky. The worst Taco Bell I've ever been to is in Baltimore, and I go to it very often.
You're like, it doesn't matter.
The worst. There is a line outside of that Taco Bell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's like there's no way that it's busy. Y'all are just bad at
You're just
doing what you
taking
do.
forever.
Right. And every
Uh,
time I get right in that line, I'd be like, this is there are better ways to live life, Darryl. And I'm like, not without that sour cream.
yeah. I found an article with the lawsuit over Taco Bell's mystery meat is no longer a mystery. This is from 2011.
Oh,
So that's how long ago we
that's how you know it's true.
yeah, no, it's just it's been in our collective unconscious now for 10
Right.
over 10 years that we've been thinking about what's in Taco Bell, but we're still eating it. I'll even eat the beef. Oh, it's got more oats than anything. Which
Oh.
makes sense.
That's okay. So that's why I'll eat it when I wake up in the morning because I bought it last night and passed out.
Breakfasty. It's
It's
breakfasty.
oatmeal.
You're
That's what I'm
right.
going for.
You're right.
Cream of wheat. They
It's
put some
healthy.
cinnamon in there.
Listen, it's healthy, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they got accused of kangaroo. They did get accused of kangaroo. And this is from
But yeah,
NPR.
I mean, maybe at the Australian Taco Bell,
Sure.
but
You know what? Actually, that's probably right because they do all kinds of crazy stuff at like the Japan McDonald's and stuff. So I don't know. They like literally serve you a sushi like at the McDonald's in
yeah.
Japan. Like,
Or what was it? Oh man, I think like it was like the Indian version of one of them that like they they did not take into account that cows are sacred to one of the religions out there.
sure, yeah, the main one,
So
Buddhism.
yeah, so like the the restaurant like bombed and they couldn't figure out why. It was like, yeah, nobody's eating beef, dummy.
Like, yeah, hello.
And so then they did it with like I don't know cashews or garbanzo beans or whatever the hell
Sure.
they
I like how
do.
they just
Yeah,
did zero research. They were just
right,
like, all
right.
right, open them up. We got real estate, fire it up.
Fuck it.
Get these workers in here, train them for 8 cents an hour.
Exactly. This is easy. Plug and play. Boom.
Throw it in the microwave. It's
You
done.
just put the meat on the grill. Why is everybody crying? Just put the meat on the grill. It's beef. That's beef.
That's
Just
beef.
cut it up.
It's USDA
Put
beef.
it- Why y'all crying?
with, with
All right, whatever.
Here, all
Open
right.
up the store.
Look, we can get you tissues. We can get you an allowance of tissues, but we're gonna need you to cook the beef.
Right, you're gonna burn through your allotted McTissues. Relax.
They got the little seal on it on each one. They're counting them.
Yeah, you get 2 per shift.
Corporations are crazy like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
where I just went through a thing with the job I was talking about where I have to like go to HR and it's probably not going to work out that because of my transplant I need to have water. Okay, like I need to have water all day long. But they're
Sure.
like you can't have water in here where you're at in the work area at all.
Ooh.
At all.
You
Nowhere.
cannot look like you are relaxing.
Or it's like I get it because there's like sensitive electrical equipment around.
Oh, okay, sure.
Other things that they could get spilled on
Right.
that like could ruin that other people if you spilled it, whatever, and accidents happen. But I'm like, yeah, I can't go lengthy periods of time without water. It's so corporations they're just like and that was the HR call I got when we were supposed to film. It was HR kind of calling back to my second email that they didn't reply to about it, where I'm like, I kind of need a special permission to be able to work here,
Right.
and they were sort of like, yeah, because like I was like, oh, I'm okay. I'll find a job, whatever. To this lady, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. I can find
Right.
a job, whatever.
If this is the line in the sand, I have to draw it, not because I'm a jerk. I have to draw the line here. Like,
Yeah, and she went, okay, we understand if it's you, your health, and I go, yeah, and she goes, well, maybe like we'll talk on Monday, and I go, I don't know, what do you want to talk about? Do you think they're going to be able to make a permission for me to bring
yeah.
water in this prohibited water area? And she's like,
Right. For me?
she's like, I don't really.
Is there a special cup you want me to have it in? Give me it in a sippy cup. Like, just, I have to keep filling it up. Like,
This one guy has a cane, and he can't use his cane to walk into this area. He has to like hobble.
Fantastic.
He has to hobble to
Sure.
his area because they couldn't get an exception to bring a dry cane into
To bring
It's not like the thing. It's a
they
trick
wouldn't let me
cane
bring a
that
cane.
shoots water
Well, I mean,
out of
it
the
was
end.
a wet cane. I get that. I get that.
Like, bro, you can't bring your trick cane to work. Like, leave it at home.
You know why? Because somebody snuck liquor in it once, and they were like,
That they
"See,
have those.
now nobody can have a
They
cane."
have those. I know for a fact they have those. Don't ask me how I know, but they have that. So honestly, you're probably right.
Somebody brought a liquor cane in, and they were like, "Look."
Well, because then here's the thing, and I went, look, I kind of get it. So I go, then you'd have everyone go, oh, I have a kidney transplant too, since you can't see that. You know what I mean? Like they can't make you pull out your scar. And then there would be bottles full of vodka on the floor.
Right? Yeah. There you go. People slurping and burping out there. You're like, the professionalism is gone.
They might even know I might even just be using that. I would be a severe alcoholic, and I'm just like, I need water. Like, where's my water?
Yeah, it's like I keep a Contigo, my little thermos with me, always with ice water in it, and people swear it's liquor. Like that's the fun joke to make. Like, Darryl's getting it. I'm like, there's no way I could be drinking.
To be
like
fair,
this.
I think my high school ex's mom did have cranberry and vod in her fucking little Contigo that went and when she drove the school bus. I would watch her make that thing sometimes in the morning and head right to that bus. And I go, she put a little vodka in that cran.
Hey,
but
that's good. It's because UTIs. That's all it is.
True.
That's medicinal vodka.
That's true. It's true.
So
I'm getting hungry. I'm thinking about weird food now. What's a weird snack you like to have? What's your?
Here's my weird thing. It's not that weird, but it is weird.
I like to learn everybody's level of weird when it comes to food. I like to press buttons in this arena.
I have always been a cornflakes guy.
Okay.
Like Kellogg's regular cornflakes. I prefer that to every other cereal.
Okay, wait. Let me ask. Did you grow up eating it?
Yeah.
Or it wasn't like you as an adult you were like, I'm gonna buy my own cereal. I'm getting cornflakes.
No.
Okay.
As a kid, Kellogg's was what was the original Rooster Tea,
plain as shit. Peacock, feather, when I had to eat them, I would put sugar on them so it tasted like Frosted Flakes.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, and the amount of sugar that I put on is ridiculous.
I have no wonder I had kidney problems. No.
Right. When I was younger, I would put sugar on Frosted Flakes because it wasn't enough sugar.
It's not
given how much sugar I would put on cornflakes.
To be fair, they're not as coated as they are now. I feel like the Frosted Flakes are 10 times more coated with like a corn
Probably.
syrup base instead
They,
of sugar
right.
too.
They don't give a shit about them kids. Like, yeah, but like, cinnamon toast crunch everybody loves. I'm
I like
like,
that.
I would rather
Just
cornflakes.
plain cornflakes. That it is
Just
weird.
plain
You're
cornflakes.
such a pup up, like as a snack, because like a lot of times I'll get boxed cereal as a dessert. Like instead of like a Hostess
Mm,
or some kind of a cake, I'll get like the cinnamon toast crunch
sure.
and just honestly dog handfuls of it like popcorn.
Totally.
But then it's sometimes eat it, like cereal as,
Right.
but as a normal food, but still as a sweet treat. It's still a sweet treat to
It
me.
is a sweet treat, and I do kind of do it that way. I mean, now like I use almond milk, and
Yeah, and oat milk or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
plant
yeah,
milk.
yeah.
I haven't drank milk since the year 2000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They changed the cows in 2000.
No, it was just like more of as I learned about being vegan for kidney health. I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
sure.
that's an easy switch." And I read almond milk was like very alkalizing to your system,
Hmm.
whereas the way we process milk here in America with the pasteurization and homogenization, it
Hmm.
actually I'm gonna say this and you're gonna be like, I'm still gonna drink milk. The homogenization process scars your arteries because
Oh,
the molecules become stiff and rigid like circles, so it stays together. Because normally milk separates into
yeah,
cream
yeah.
and water,
Separate. Yeah, yeah.
skim. So the way we process
But
it,
I still shake it.
it
You know,
doesn't.
that's
I
funny.
do
As a
too.
kid, you still shook
That's
it.
like a because
Yeah.
we used to get the delivery of milk at my grandmom's house when I was real little, like 5.
Hmm.
They would get delivered milk in the box out front, and I would always
That's
shake
amazing.
that. But even then, it was homogenized, and you don't have to do that.
Right.
That's just like a settling, I guess, in your
Hmm.
mind. Like orange juice, like anything in a bottle that's not soda, I kind of shake
Yeah. Right.
sometimes.
Yep. Yep.
Just,
But
just
orange juice will. Oh, I guess that Tropicana stuff is homogenized. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess.
So milk is technically a processed food. And because
Hmm.
of that, it scars your arteries with the shape of the way the molecule is now in the milk. It's real
Hmm.
rigid instead of being soft and malleable like it naturally is in its normal state. And it
Sure.
scars your arteries, and then your body sends cholesterol to repair the arteries. It takes
Ah.
cholesterol out of your system wherever it hides under your organs, behind your brain.
Hmm.
So it's stealing cholesterol from parts that it's supposed to be in, like to
To
protect and
to.
cushion your organs and shit. Then it's filling up, and then that's why we get blocked arteries and stuff.
Hmm.
More than like before, there was
Right.
never triple bypass surgeries in like 35-year-old people. But like
Hmm.
millennials grew up in the generation of where everything was no longer that milk that separates.
Hmm.
It's processed, and it's more like everybody born. Our generation is kind of like raised on the less healthy idea of food,
Hmm.
where it's quick over healthy, and or oh, I can't be grossed out by it. Like I can't see the milk separate and have to shake it. Oh, that's
Right. Yeah.
just it's like we like it. It's white. White people love white things. I don't know why. I kind of hate that
I don't know
sometimes.
why. Yeah, but that's true. I mean,
We
they
love it
definitely
white.
do. Like, Wonder Bread was never the greatest bread, but that was the bread. Like,
I saw
even in the '80s when we didn't give a shit about sprouted grains, we didn't know what the hell that even
nobody
meant.
knew what that
It
was.
was still better bread than
It,
Wonder Bread.
it, even just like a store brand white bread, I feel like, or like my
Yeah,
grandma,
but like right, but like any bread that wasn't white, like the wheat bread, all that stuff, it just
rye,
tasted
just
better.
something. Yeah.
Like potato bread,
Oh,
it's not
potato bread.
white bread. Like but they're all better. But still,
It's
white
all
bread was
better.
like the thing, and I was like, yeah, white people,
It just they just like it plain and white.
we should have called like wheat bread white bread, and then it would have been the number one seller.
It would have been top.
It's not the
They
enrichment process; it's the
Nobody would have.
whiteness.
Same with brown rice and white rice.
Yep, yep.
Why do I have to bleach my fibers? The white
Yeah,
rice
you're
will do
right.
that.
It's all going to be shit anyway. Why are we doing?
It,
What are we doing?
that's
Yep.
what I always thought about white bread. Once I learned about that kind of stuff, it's like, why do we have enriched, bleached wheat flour? Enriched, I get it's devoid of nutrients because of over farming, but we have to
Or
bleach it.
yeah, like I mean, like like iodine isn't something you normally get, so you have to add it to stuff to get, and
It's,
like
it,
we got it from other things. I get that, like
sure,
put more
it's
vitamins and stuff. But yeah, the
adding
bleaching
the
is like
bleaching.
that doesn't seem to be adding anything.
It it would be the same color as potato bread. It would be like yellow, and that's oh, that's disgusting.
Oh
I
my
don't like the
goodness!
way it
Right?
looks before it goes into my mouth and turns into poop.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know. I have a thing. I am anti picky eater, so that's why I like to ask people their weird foods because I think we are such spoiled children. Besides, there's of some people that legitimately have picky eating type disorders and
Oh sure, yeah, yeah,
diseases
yeah. Like
related to that.
it's a
but
thing where they feel weird. Like
like
right, but
physically.
we
But then,
yeah,
hey,
I was
go get
never like that.
CBT at that point. Go get cognitive behavioral shit.
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
can't eat because it makes you feel a certain way, you need to take care of your symptoms.
Yeah, you need to ration. Yeah, you need psychotherapy to fix that.
That's
It's
a
not just
problem.
I don't like it.
But yeah,
It's
exactly
I
that.
cannot eat. Yeah,
I don't like it. It's like, okay,
right.
you're
My food's
not
touching the other food, and now I don't want it. There's
that was
something wrong with the food they're touching, so don't eat the part that's touching. I can't do it. Okay, well that's different. Yeah.
that was always my favorite in toys with Robin Williams, and that's LL Cool J's character, and he's like a military plate, and he's like, okay, have a food touching,
Oh,
because he's like the military like toy come to life, and he's like his little plate is like, you know what
it's
I
very
mean,
regimented.
and it's like, oh, and I always thought about that, and I've seen people do that in real life, and I struggle with it. I struggle with seeing people be picky about food because I grew up in two different houses where you had to kind of just
It's
eat.
just it's what you were eating.
It's what we have.
Yeah.
It's what we have.
Yeah, I was never that much of a picky eater, although many times my mom had to be like, Darryl, you need to eat actual food, not cornflakes. Because that would just be,
So
I would come
wait,
home from school and I would have a bowl of cornflakes with, uh, while I watch cartoons or whatever.
yeah,
Every day, that's
every
what I
day
did. So then when dinner time happened in like 2 or 3 hours,
you weren't
I was like, I
hungry.
had cornflakes. I'm
You're like,
cool.
you're like it's fortified. It's got minerals.
Right. I got enriched flakes of corn. I'm fine. And then she'd be like, all right, whatever, you'll eat later. But then later, I would just have another bowl of cornflakes. And she'd be like,
Yeah.
Darryl, you can't do that.
Like,
You need
okay,
vitamins and minerals and protein.
look, man, you didn't tell me this was an addiction fixation in your life. I just wanted to know a fun snack you like to eat.
But no, now it's a fun snack. But like when I was forced to eat and stuff,
Sure.
I never would be like, oh, I don't like broccoli. Like it was
You're
never
just like,
that sort of thing. I had cousins that were like that.
oh yeah.
And it was fun to watch them be beaten into eating. But not Darryl. I never cared. My mom was like, yeah, you were weird. She was like, there wasn't a vegetable you put on the plate that you wouldn't be like, sure.
Yeah. I'm the same
Yeah,
way. I'm the same way. And then for
it's
like,
food.
and when you're a kid,
I eat to
when
live.
you're
I
a
don't live to eat.
child learning about foods you like, your tastes change every like 7 years when you get a new set of cells. So your palate changes over time. There's things I didn't used to eat. Like, I wouldn't fuck with
Sure.
any mushrooms when I was a
My
kid.
my wife has said it. Oh, I still don't like mushrooms, but I'll eat them. Like,
That's what I mean, though. You're like, I'll tolerate them in some like Italian dishes. But there was a point I was eating them raw on salads to where I was like, how did I even do
sure.
that? But what was you going to say about your wife?
Salad, no, raw mushroom is better than cooked mushroom. I don't like, uh, yeah, the sliminess that tends to happen is, and it's like nothing. But you know,
They taste like dirt to me.
right? Well, no, yeah, to me, well, you get those like button mushrooms that are like probably farmed and like they don't taste like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay like on pizza because it's with the pizza flavor. I'll do that.
Yeah, see, I don't.
I can fuck with that. And then in Italian dishes because it's in whatever sauce, wine sauce or whatever, chicken marsala or something, I can deal with that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah,
just
sure.
tastes. It's the taste more than the texture to me sometimes. But I don't like my one vegetarian friend. She was always like trying to be like, don't you like the portobello mushroom grilled? And like, no, that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Oh God. Instead of a
A
burger,
burger.
like,
And
what are you
don't
doing?
even
Right.
dare. You're like insulting my tastes as a human. I would
Yeah. It's like
I would
I get that you do that, but don't think that that is even close to a
I
burger.
don't think that's right to suggest that to me instead of a turkey sandwich or whatever else you have on this platter of food at this
Right.
spread for your like bridal shower or wedding or whatever, and you give me a grilled mushrooms with some other weird vegetables on there too. It's never like covered in cheese, so maybe it's
Right. It's
palatable.
also
It's like
slimy. A
red
bell pepper.
peppers or yeah,
It's like,
that I don't
yeah, you know
cold.
what? I'll just have a bowl of cornflakes.
I like I get suggested ads in my Instagram for like those like different vegan type pages because I like a lot of that stuff,
Oh,
recipes,
sure.
and it's always like, oh, delicious breakfast sandwich. As soon as like mushrooms, avocado, and pepper instead of an egg. What? Go! I'm deleting this whole fucking program off of my phone. That's why I took a social
Blocked.
media
You are
break.
now
That's why I'm
blocked.
like, um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't get down like that.
Mm-mm.
So just cornflakes is just your weird obsession. That's it.
That's my twist.
I just had deja vu, by the way. So
No,
that's weird. That means you're on your
no.
path. That means you're aligned with your path in life when
And,
you get
well,
deja
my
vu.
path has been cornflakes this whole time.
I
Yeah.
mean, look, I don't knock it, and you don't do anything weird to it besides just eat it,
I
milk,
put sugar in.
sugar.
I
That's
will.
fine.
I've been doing like granola. So I mean, when you do that, you might as well be doing like honey bunches of oats or whatever, right? Like, I'll do that.
My
But
grandmom loves that. You are so ancient. I like it's so funny. You and Seamus have the same energy of an old white lady or trapped in a black man's body. I don't know between the two of you. No,
it's
that's
yeah, but I just stick to that. And
okay.
the thing that's pissed me off is that it's never on sale anymore.
Okay, because
Every other
corn
every other one, like
is.
Raisin Bran was on sale, for like it was like 2 for 5, and fucking a single box of cornflakes was like $6. I was like, it's just cornflakes.
I
Like I was
they're like
fucking
this is
inconsolable.
this is the backbone of America. It's corn, buddy.
Right.
It's in
We
all
used to
those
make
cereals.
things in this country, and now, yeah,
It's
and I
corn.
just
It's corn. It's just crazy because, like, I don't know. Yeah, you would think it would be $3. You would think no one would want this shit. I think we need the
right,
demographics. I think we need to find the demographics
right. Like, who are
on
these rich fuckers who are ruining
who's
my day?
scooping like everybody's eating so many cornflakes they have to raise the price to keep it. I guess because it's maybe one of the only non-sugary cereals. I bet.
I think so.
So it's like diabetic people have to go for that. And like,
Maybe.
or people trying to like not have sugars in their diet for other reasons. They're just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's plain. It's got nothing, zero. I'm interested to know the grams of sugar in cornflakes because I think corn has sugar, plant sugar, because it's like a
Sure.
natural.
Yeah, yeah. Totally. I mean, high
So
fructose corn syrup. Like,
I'm
we
sure.
we get
I
all
bet.
that
I
stuff
wonder
out,
if that.
but
I'm gonna look it up because I bet that doesn't have that in there. I bet that's one of the few that doesn't have that. But corn,
like
yes, it turns into.
they need to call it like artisanal cornflakes.
They like.
Kellogg's Flakes of Corn,
Yeah,
and then
it's
you
something they're
you show like a
rebranding it.
sharecropper on the front. Let people know it's rustic. It's
um, yeah, it's like it's hand
antebellum
art,
flakes of corn.
artisan baked cornflakes. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. I'm gonna tell the folks about this boring information. No, 2.7 grams. Not bad. That's surprisingly low for
Is
any
that well? Yeah, I
cereal
know one.
that's on the shelf. Any other like plain that's not. You know what the other one is? Is like shredded wheat. It's like nothing.
Oh, sure.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Because it's just the plant. It's just the plant.
yeah.
So it's like whatever fractional, little bit of sugar from them just processing the plant itself. If wheat has any, I doubt it. But yes, cereal is some of the breakfast foods they sell kids like Pop Tarts. There's as many calories in a package of Pop Tarts as 2 donuts.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
it's
it's especially it's the frosted strawberry because that
uh,
shit's a hit.
listen, they have a. I don't know if you know about this one. Waffle, like waffle flavor. If you see
Oh,
that thing, get it immediately.
if I see the
It's
like the
so
Eggo Pop Tart.
Eggo. It's like a little Eggo on the picture. Yeah, like
Oh,
it's so
it probably yeah.
good.
It's like maple syrup
Oh
inside or
yeah,
whatever.
it's breakfast
Yeah,
little
that sounds
Eggo. It's so
that sounds great.
one of me and my sister's like weird little like sweet treats. Again, like if I'm not getting a weird crazy sounding cereal that looks like it should literally be dessert like birthday cake fucking fruity pebbles or some
Yeah.
ridiculous shit. I those are so good. They're like sugar cookie crisp I got one time around Christmas, banging. But it's Pop Tarts. My sister will just like secretly leave me like a little envelope of Pop Tarts on my bed, like it's a fucking dossier. I'm like, oh
No,
shit, what is
nice.
this? I don't know what flavor it is. And I'm like, you bitch, you got waffle again. They're so good. They give me such bad heartburn. They're like the
Mm,
worst. It's like instant, but they're so fucking good.
yeah. Oh, I gotta
Um,
look for that.
they're I just saw them at Giant like yesterday.
Nice. Because yeah, the
Top
season's
tier.
coming.
Top tier. No, the waffle ones are out a lot. They're out all the time,
Oh,
I
okay.
think now, because it's breakfast flavor.
Sure.
Breakfast is always in season.
I'm a pumpkin spice guy.
Are you? You're,
Uh,
you're white. I think you're white
yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah,
I
very
can't
white.
swear to God.
With that, no, actually, listen. I've been on cinnamon since this shit is not white.
But
Uh, white people showing up trying to gentrify it, and nah, nah, nah. I've been on this shit for forever
no.
before they showed up, so it's not white. They are misappropriating the history
All right.
of that spice and my people. Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
So yeah,
That's fair.
the seasonal tasty cakes is a new thing for me when they have the pumpkin
Oh.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little mini pumpkin pie. Oh,
Uh,
I
oh, the
ooh
little baked pies.
yeah
All right, I've had the pumpkin. Those are good. Did you?
yeah.
They have like they have those. Yeah, they have a lot of
There's
those
like
different.
another one that I just saw and I had one of them, but it wasn't like pumpkin. It was like pumpkin cream. Like it was like something else. Like yeah, with the pumpkin. Like, maybe it was frosted. I can't remember, but it all
Yeah.
goes down
No,
in this house.
it's so funny because I'm the opposite. I reject pumpkin. I will not drink a
Really,
pumpkin spice latte if you paid me to be in a Starbucks ad. I wouldn't drink that shit. It's
I had
I
one
don't know why.
last weekend.
I
I have pumpkin creamer for my coffee in the house. I don't play.
my like every girl I know is all pumpkin everything. Pumpkin pie I'll crush around.
They got it from black people.
They co-opted it. See, I am not. I do not ever. I am not. I have never once in my life co-opted anything. I reject the idea of it innately. I knew that it wasn't for me.
Was it for you? Right? Yeah. Right.
it was.
This is the time that I just need to listen.
It's not
Yeah. No.
Spanish or a white thing to eat pumpkin spice.
Wait.
So
Spanish people put cinnamon in their rice.
some do.
Sometimes.
Some do. I don't. I never
Okay.
have. I've always go spicy tomato rice kind of vibe.
Sure. I'm a
Um,
well, yeah, like a but no, it's like rice, but
but no,
like a
no
goat meat
pumpkin
stew.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much in any Spanish cuisine that I know of, pumpkin.
No, I don't think so.
No, because it's not native to those type of regions. It's
Right.
I feel like, and it's more of like I've seen like I know like Thailand. They have like pumpkin stews and things that they make,
Mm-hmm.
and different where it has to be kind of like moderate climate. It can't be like too hot for pumpkins. They
Yeah.
like to grow when it's warm, but when it gets too hot, they get all like burn out. The leaves get all burn out.
Yeah,
Um,
my family's from the Caribbean, and the only time I would have pumpkin is like pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving. But
it's not.
that always worked for
Yeah,
almost
it's
since the time I was
I
little.
feel like it's indigenous America if that's why we serve it at that time of
Probably. I mean, the
so.
pumpkin is a very American squash, but I
Squashes
think
are like North American, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, riveting. No, I don't know what do we where can everyone that loved you so much on this episode find you or hear about you? Tell them
Oh
now.
yeah. Follow me on the internet. Darryl underscore on the things that I'm on, and you'll find all that information on my website, darrylcomedy.com. We outside. I'm doing comedy. I should be in Austin in the next month, Indy, Philly, of course, Baltimore. So we outside. So
Okay. December. We're looking at December.
yeah, December. I think I should be in Austin and Indy and Buffalo.
Okay.
Anyway, go. I got a website, darrylcomedy.com. Check it out. Come see me. We outside, yo.
Yeah, yeah. Darryl, we're going to get together at some point and do a Patreon where we get a big box of cornflakes, even though I'm not supposed to eat processed corn. And we're going to find weird toppings that you might enjoy on there, I think. Does that sound like an idea?
That does sound like an idea. That's
Right?
definitely a thing I do. Sure.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. It was great talking to you. Have at life, Darryl. I love you. You're great.
Yeah, it's good talking to you too. Yeah,
All right. We'll see you, man.
always a pleasure.
Peace out.
Bye bye.